Hello and welcome to a mirror reversal spell. It's the best title I could come up to, and it is a little bit of a mouthful, so I apologise. And this came about because when Ness and I joined Rachel about a week ago for a waffle on a Friday morning, somebody brought up about some needing to repel something, and I said about a mirror spell, and I did say that I had done a mirror spell. I have. It's a candle one, but it's not a reversal spell. And then in something else I had mentioned about using a mirror, but I hadn't specifically done this, which is a mirror reversal spell. So here we are. Why? Why would you want to do one? Because they are extremely easy for a start. For anybody that knows me, they know that I prefer something that is straightforward, simple. If you want to add bells and whistles and whatever else you can do, I like to keep my workings very straightforward. It works for me. But if you want to add herbs, if you want to add jewelry to this, if you want to add candles to this, you can. Just go with your intuition, what you want to do with it. I'm just going to give you how I would perform this, and then you can make it your own. Change the wording. There is some words to go along with this, but change the wording, add things, take things out. Do what feels right for you to make this your own. So, like I said, why would you do this? Because it's simple to do. Mirrors are easily available, even if you've got a small pendant that has a very shiny surface. You could actually do this and then wear this as protection. So it's protection. It is repelling, so you can set it up to repel, whether that is gossip or just ill wishing, the evil eye. If you feel blocked in some way, if you feel that you're being blocked and you can't put your finger on it, so you don't specifically need to know exactly who is doing it, which is the nice thing about this, because actually all you're doing is sending it back. That's it. You're just sending it, whatever it is that you are feeling, you're just sending it back to the sender. That's it. So no harm to you, and they've sent it, so they are what they are, and they're doing what they're doing. So it's down to the energies, what they do with it, with them. But for you, from your point of view, all you're doing is sending it back. Now, there is another thing that this is actually really useful for, and that is, when you've got those, you've had a relationship, whether it's a partner, a friend, work, acquaintance, company, you've had some dealings with something or somebody, and you have moved on, and you felt as though you had cut off the ties, you had removed yourself from that, but you still find that every now and again it's going round in your head, or it's a recurring dream that comes to you. Then you can use this for that too. You can use it to actually cut those final ties by using this, because you're setting the mirror up to send everything back. So it works on multiple levels. Anything else that I can think of at the moment? No. So I'm going to switch over to the other camera. Hopefully, she says. There we go. That's it. So you're going to need a mirror. It can be any sort of mirror. This one was literally it had a surround to it. I think it was one I got from Poundland, to anybody that's in England, dollar store. maybe in America, but yeah, Poundland. And it had like a plastic outside to it, which I had stuck loads of bits and pieces to, and I had it outside, and the weather got to it, so it all cracked. So I took the mirror out. But it's very light. It's a very light mirror, which means that you can stick it up or wherever you want, which is very useful. You're also going to need, so I'll move the mirror just for a second, you're going to need some water in a little bowl like this. And we're going to bless this. So this is spring water. If you've got spring water, fine. If you haven't, tap water is perfectly adequate for this, because what you're going to do is you're going to literally put your hands over, and then you're going to ground yourself. You're going to send roots down into Mother Earth. Right down. Visualize your roots from your feet, or if you're sitting on the floor, from your tailbone, going right the way down until you feel that they've gone far enough. And then the energy, the protective energy from the earth, rising up through those roots, coming into your body and rising up to come to your hands. And then you are sending that protective energy into the water. And I usually say something, I am blessing this water for my protection and for the highest of good. But you can say whichever. And then when you feel that it's enough, and there's not much water in here, so it's not going to take long, you can actually then feel the energy receding back out of your body and back down to your feet or your tailbone, because we're not releasing, we're staying grounded now for this. And that's it. You now have your blessed water. Now the other thing you're going to need, I'm just getting that there so that I can do a demonstration, is you're going to need a symbol, because you are going to be with your finger marking a symbol on your mirror. So this could be a equal cross, solar cross if you want to call it that, but an equal armed cross. It could be a pentacle. It could be a 6-pointed star. It can be anything you want it to be. It could be a rune, it could be an Ogham, or it can be a sigil, which is why I've got this here, because just in case people don't know about sigils. So this will be upside down. I am very sorry. I haven't got a camera that comes this way, so I apologise now. I also apologise because my writing is atrocious. So if you enlarge this, I apologise. What you need is a short sentence, as concise as you can possibly make it. So you could go along the lines of, I want to be protected from all malevolent energy. It's a bit long, and even once you've taken everything out, it's still going to be quite cumbersome, because don't forget, you need to be able to write this on the mirror. So personally, I would actually probably just do something like, I am protected. So I am protected. And then you take out the vowels. So I, A, O, E, E. And then you start writing the consonants. So we've got an M, a P, an R, a T, a C. I've got another T, so that's a repeat. You cross that one out, and a D. So I've got M, P, R, T, C, D. That's quite nice. Yeah. Okay. And then you look at it and you decide where you're going to start working from. And I'm actually going to start working, I'll try and do this a bit bigger now, I've got the sentence. So I'm going to start actually working with the T, and I'll do it bigger, but hopefully it will show more on the camera. So there's the T. cross the T out. What do I want to work with now? Oh, M. So I'm literally going to do that. And that's the M. R. Is going to go there, like that. Okay, so we cross the R out. Actually, we've already got a P in there as well, so we can cross the P out. You've got a P, and then with the tail you've got an R. Also looks like Rado from Runes, but anyway, I digress. I apologise. Now we've got C, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. So it's a little bit of an odd-shaped C, but it is a C to me. And then for D, there, I'm actually going to do that. So yeah, so a little bit of a tail there, which I might just do a bobble on. And then I've got a tail there that I'll do a bobble on. That is coming to there, so that's all right. So I've got no loose ends. Talking to myself, I apologise. I'll turn that round so that hopefully you can see it a bit more. Now that you could easily etch onto a mirror. So that is a very basic idea of what a sigil is. There are books, some very good books out there, all about sigils. But there are all sorts of different ways of making sigils. That's just a very nice, simple way. However, we shall return now. We shall return now to our mirror. Just making sure that you can actually see that. Okay, like that. Now, at this point, if you want to cast a circle, you can. Depends on where you're doing this. If you're doing it at home and you have lots of protection up and around your home, then you probably won't need to cast a circle. However, if that is something that you like to do, then you do it. That can be as simple as literally sitting in the centre and pointing with your finger or a wooden spoon or the pen that you've just used, whatever you want to use, and just imagining, visualising a beam of light, because don't forget you're still connected to the earth, a beam of light coming up, going out of your finger, and you just draw a circle clockwise. Yeah? And just say something like, this circle is created to keep me protected. You don't need to make it, but you do you. Remember, I keep saying, don't I? Sorry. These are suggestions. You do you. You do what feels right for you. Then, so you've got your blessed water and you've got your mirror. At this point, what I would do is just literally sit for a minute and put my hands round them to say that this is going to be to keep me protected from all ill will, ill wishes, and malevolent energy. Then with your dominant hand, you literally put your finger in the water and then you draw whatever it is you want to draw on the mirror, like that. So I've chosen an equal arm cross. You saw, just an equal arm cross, also known as a solar cross. And then you are literally going to put your hands over it. And you could say something along these lines. Mirror, I charge you to reverse any physical harm sent to me. Return the pain to the sender. Mirror, I charge you to reverse any bindings and obstacles in my path. Make the sender struggle and fail. Mirror, I charge you to reverse anything sent to torment my mind and occupy my dreams. Return them so the sender has no peace. Magic mirror, return all ill will sent to me by foes known and unknown. Protect and hide me from all malevolent influences. it is done. And that's it. That is your mirror set up to protect you from whatever. Where are you going to put it? You can put it on your altar, and then each time you go past, you can just, you don't have to have your finger in the water again. You can just etch, if you, like mine's very simple, it's the equal arm cross. If you want to, with your sigil, and you're putting this on your altar, you can actually tape the sigil underneath the mirror as well, so that it's there constantly. So that in that case, all you'd need to do is touch the mirror as you went past each time. What else could you do with it? You could put it by a doorway. So if you've got a main door to where you live, where that's the most frequent place where people come in and out of, specifically in, have the mirror there. And if you can get it so it's actually facing that doorway, even better. Where else? Oh, so say it's a neighbour, or you know, or you think you know, because you're not directing direct. If it's a neighbour, then you know it's a neighbour. But if it's something you know that somebody's doing something, you're just not quite sure what, and you know that they live over there, then you could face the mirror in that direction. You're not saying any names, you're just saying anything. So if you know that they live in that general direction. If it's a neighbour, it gets really easy, because you can literally put the mirror up facing, so the mirror side facing where they are. So if it's a neighbour, you put it up to a wall, put it behind a picture maybe. If you're in a flat or an apartment, ceiling. So and in this situation, what I would tend to do is, if you've got a cupboard, that you could actually put this on top of the cupboard. I mean, if you want to tape it to the ceiling, you can, but it's probably easier to put it on top of a cupboard. If it's somebody underneath, can you actually put it under a piece of furniture? As I say, face down, so it's going that way. Wall, as I say, behind a mirror, behind an ornament, whatever works for you. So yeah, if it's a direct neighbour, that actually is much easier. But if it's just, you know that this person has gossiped about you, you know that they live over in that direction, face it in that direction. And that's it. I really hope this has been useful. I've done a lot of waffling and a lot of saying, please do it your way, because that is base. I give you the ideas, and that this is it. Books, spell books, anything else are the author's, the person that's put it together's ideas, to make it your own, to make it as powerful as you possibly can. You need to put your personal touches to it. So yeah, do with this as you wish, with all good intent. And as I say, I hope this has been useful. There will be a written blog to go along with it as well. So if you can, stop it to catch the words if you want to jot the words down, so that you can alter them around. But yeah, there will be a blog to go along with this that'll have everything on it. And yeah, put comments if this has been useful. Put comments, or just say hi. But yeah, I'll see you next time.